This is a trip not just to consolidate ties and to boost Erdogan's relationships across the Gulf, but also a money hunting tour as well. What's your view?
I think there are a couple of different dynamics hidden in the picture as well, absolutely. One of the main purposes is definitely to attract more foreign investments, FDI, to help the Turkish economy directly. But on a personal note, like you mentioned, this is to show gratitude to GCC countries for their previous support and investments, especially in May, back in Turkey when the net foreign reserves hit a record low. By the end of May, Erdogan actually told the reporters that he is thankful to the GCC countries because, there is now more room to breathe, but he did not clarify which countries actually parked their collateral in the Turkish central bank. From previous transactions, we know that Ankara has secured more than $28 billion in foreign currency swap deals in recent years, including the UAE, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia, which definitely provided the breathing room that Erdogan mentioned to Turkey's central bank. But it didn't solve any of Turkey's structural problems. It was just a quick liquidity breathing room. And this needs to continue in order for Erdogan to keep running the country. And I also believe on a personal note that he needs to explain the recent economic U-turn that he took personally to all of his counterparts.
Indeed, and the verdict is still out on whether or not that economic U-turn means a move back to perhaps more orthodox monetary policy and fiscal policy as well, but that of course remains to be seen. At the same time, as you say, funding from the Gulf has really helped Erdogan to relieve pressure on Turkey's economy and its currency, but longer term there are other goals here as well, and one of them is to sign an FTA with the Gulf bloc, a free trade agreement. Where do those negotiations stand?
Signing an FTA, a free trade agreement, FTA, has been one of Erdogan's long-term goals in the GCC region. And I think, as an economist, I definitely see the economic potential that could bring to the country, because currently the trade volume, when you look at it from a trade volume perspective, does not reflect the potential that these countries have with each other. What they are currently doing is actually maintaining a liquidity relationship in between their central banks, and also pursuing some privatization and some securitization deals. But this can actually continue on a more economic and on a macroeconomic level and bring more trade to all countries that we're talking about here. Another area of cooperation that the Turkish counterparts are seeking is definitely the Syria issue. It's a delicate issue, but Erdogan and Ankara actually see the collective engagement with the GCC countries can actually help their policy agenda in Syria. Mainly, one of the plans being establishing safe cities in Syria for Syrian refugees in the northern Syria regions, and this could also be an issue of collective engagement. Like you said, what we currently hear is that in this tour, Erdogan is seeking to gain actually direct investments of about $10 billion in the initial round, and that this amount could actually increase to $25 billion in the longer run. And these are amounts that yes.